Fan the whole time. That's working, but our mic isn't working. So we're gonna log off or something. There it goes. Okay, you guys. I don't know what's happening, but you can hear the fan going. Can you guys hear the fan going? Give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know if you guys. What's up, y'all? Happy. You know what it is? You know what's wrong? You know what's happening today? It's April Fool's.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Okay. I'll go with it.
You'll go with that? It sounds like a winner to me. So hey, you guys. Let's first of all, happy Coffee Date Monday. Good to see you. Good to be seen.
Yeah.
I think it's on. Look. Is it that right there? Oh yeah. So go ahead. See, you're all of a sudden you're on it. You're in it now.
Good morning,
You're in
everyone.
it. You're in it.
Hi. Happy Coffee Date Monday. You know, there are many reasons why we don't do this once a week anymore. There are many reasons. And this is definitely one of them.
Definitely.
This is definitely one of those reasons. And yeah.
Like seriously, like right now, I literally just want to stop because everything ain't working.
That's what I suggested earlier, but
You said unplug it and plug it back up.
in the
That's
thick
what you
of things.
said. So she has something we're going to talk about today.
All right. First of all, today is April 1st, and so we had our little workout this morning.
Talk about the workout, babe.
We decided to start it's called a 40-40 challenge. And so it's just basically like 40 days. It's this right here. Can you guys see that? 40-40 challenge. And it's 40 days and 40 miles spent in the book of Luke. The 40-40 challenge picks different books of the Bible and different subjects and things like that, biblical studies at different times on the different rounds that they do it. But this particular round, it's 40 days and 40 miles spent in the book of Luke. And so today was day one. And it's basically just a mile a day for 40 days. And so that was actually John's first time running, right? After heart transplant?
Pretty much, yes.
It wasn't his first time working out because this guy likes to lift weights, but it was the first time of him doing cardio and running. So
Yeah,
how
because
did that go?
I walk. I was walking. Remember, we used to walk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried running a little bit, but today was like official.
Yeah.
Trying to run,
Mm-hmm.
and since like during the winter, I literally stopped doing cardio.
You said since the winter?
Yeah, during the winter time.
Oh, the winter. Uh-huh.
I literally stopped doing cardio. I was working out a little bit, but so today we went ahead and started doing that. You know, Kai and I actually have a goal to eventually run a half marathon. I'm just hoping that I just want to do a 5K because I hate running, y'all. I hate running. But I'm going to tell you how it felt. I felt good to run. My heart was cool. Everything was great. Body felt good except for my feet. My ankles and my calves were on fire. Like fire.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, everything went well.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's like a new runners type thing where I don't know, ankles and calves and things like that go through changes at the beginning. I didn't feel that necessarily. It was just stamina, just working on the stamina.
She was doing good.
I definitely know that I can do a lot better. So
She could, but y'all, she was doing good. Because I was behind her because she's faster than I am now. As far as going, her stamina is a lot better than mine. And I was watching her because I would have to, I'm jogging, and then I like the first I guess half mile.
Mm-hmm.
Then I couldn't take it anymore.
So I was just walking.
I couldn't take it. So I was hanging with her, and then all of a sudden I just started walking.
I don't even remember that.
Then we started going up that hill on the trail.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mm-mm.
Just gotta move. Gotta use your arms.
Mm-mm.
And so the sad part is, I don't know what was going through your mind, but I feel like with running, like you have to kind of train your mind to have a different self-talk. Like the self-talk is super important. And I was just realizing I was really shifting through some negative mindsets and thoughts, just because I'm in comparison mode. I'm like, dude, I could run so much longer than this, so much better than this, so much faster than this. Oh my gosh, Kaya, your speed sucks. Like, so the self-talk was not very good this morning. And so I kind of felt like it kind of got to a point where it was like it was just like negative on top of negative. And I feel like that's like so many things, because here you are back there thinking I'm doing like amazing. And I'm like, this is terrible. You know what I mean? So I feel like we might adjust to the fartlek. What is that, like 30-second run, 30-second walk, or something like that, the on off.
Yeah, the way that I think the book said 2 minutes walking, 2 minutes running, 2 minutes walking, and do it for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds cool.
And you don't have to sprint. And my problem that for me is I've always been a sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
So I always want to get places quick.
You just want to go.
Bang, I'll go. So like even if when I was running before my heart went bad, I used to run, and I'm always every day I was trying to at doing 2 miles. I would make sure that I would get a better time every day. So I was fighting for that. But then I started realizing, you guys, that that whole scripture that talks about how the endurance in the race. We need to run
the race
to run
is not
the race.
Given to the swift,
right?
But to they who endure.
Endure. So I'm sitting there, and that's just my mindset. Is I'm always trying to hurry, but that's what kept coming back to me. And just being a Christian during hard times and things that you're going through. And Tito, I know you're sitting there listening.
Yeah,
is
when knows it well.
You know exactly what it's like. It's like, dude, I got another day. I got to beat this day. I got to keep pushing. But what Paul was telling us is, look, man, you got to have endurance. I think it was Peter that actually said you got to have endurance for this whole thing. Don't give up. Yeah. It's just a step by step, because you want to finish the race, is what Paul said. Yeah. That we need to finish this race, which, even if we come in crawling, just finish it.
I think that just flows through so many things. Because I mean, like, even just thinking about Tito, who's like, He's in the bed right now. Like he would love to like get outside and push. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
just like the mindsets of like, man, like we got to be grateful for where we are, but every single one of us are pushing, but we're pushing from different starting points. Tito's pushing from a standpoint of, dude, I want to stand up and I want to walk. We're pushing from a different standpoint of, dude, I want to run and I want to run for time or I want to run for endurance. Donald was saying like use a military cadence. Like I think what we say in our mind and what rhythm we do for anything, whether it's exercise, whether it's hardship, whether it's something hard, like we gotta get a good rhythm on the inside of us, like mindset. Um,
Tito, you know about rhythm?
yeah, he knows.
You're
He
a bass
plays the bass
player.
player. Yeah, but it's with everything. It's not just with exercise. It's even in like hardship in our relationship, going through hard um, times or hard moments. It was like, and I love to equate things to workout all the time because it's like, dude, I can do a plank. I can do a plank for a minute, or I can do a plank for 2 minutes. I can do it, but you got to tell me how long I got to do it. Like, but if you give me the time, I can do it. But a lot of times, especially in relationship, when we get through, we hit hard seasons, sometimes we don't know a time. Like we don't know like how long is this for? Because we're all trying to stay in the workout, right? We're all trying to stay in the workout. We're all trying not to tap out, but a lot of times we don't know how long this is going to be. And I feel like that takes us back to, the hardest time of our life during heart transplant. um, After the heart transplant and things start going south, it's like, okay, I didn't know, I didn't have a gauge, I didn't have a time, or
That was the biggest thing.
yeah, I didn't have a,
Not knowing.
yeah, I didn't have a summit point where I can be like, if we could just get here, things will get better. It was literally like the heart transplant was the false summit for us. Like it was like, okay, the heart transplant that it happened. Now everything's
Now
good,
what?
right?
No.
But it wasn't. Everything started getting really bad. And then so then that's when I feel like the mindset, like it was crazy. It became it was just a ride because it was like, I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know if we're going to see the end of this. I don't know if this is our new forever. Like I don't know. Um, so with everything, having to find a healthy mindset, a healthy cadence in everything, you know.
That's true. I remember the whole point when the doctors had like every day, so we're gonna try tomorrow, or we're gonna try this tomorrow, and then try this. And I'm gonna tell you, the worst torture is not knowing.
Hmm.
That is the worst. It is the worst thing. And when people don't give you a date, they don't say anything, and they just have you sitting there.
Yeah,
Even prisoners have release dates.
that's true.
Even prisoners can sit back and go, look, I got 20 years, but I got a release date. But when you're sitting in a situation
No,
with no
dude,
release date,
that'll preach all day.
no release date, you literally, people will give up. And that's where God's saying, look, you got to endure the hardship because you don't have a release date.
Yeah,
You just need to stay in the race.
just keep going.
Keep going and keep pushing because that's where hope is. And that's what we're always looking for. We're always looking for these plateaus called hope.
Mm,
And then that's when but all of a sudden, as you're walking up that hope, my wife always talks about these false summits where you're getting there and you're like, yes, yes. And then you get there, you have the hope. But then when you got there, all of a sudden the Bible says that, what did it say about deferred hope happens?
makes the heart
It makes
sick.
the heart sick because you were so there and you got to this, what you hoped for.
And it wasn't
And then
the
all of a
top.
sudden it wasn't what you really thought.
No,
And that's why they call it the other side of hope.
dude, that's what happened to us. It was
And
not.
I remember
what we thought it
sitting
was
there
gonna
with the
be.
doctor, all the doctor teams, and they're like, so what can we do? Because I was so frustrated. And I said, this is what I want. This is all I'm asking you to do.
Just give me a plan.
Give me a plan.
Yeah,
Tell me, because you're coming here and you don't know, I don't know. You're the professionals,
yeah,
but they don't even know. So in myself, I need to prepare myself for this fight.
yeah.
Don't just come up here and tell me, I need to know what I'm fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
So in that point, they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. They came back and they said, this is what the plan is.
Yeah. And
Once
that
there was a
helps.
plan,
It was a.
I was like, okay, let's go then.
You can fix your mind to
I
the
can
plan.
fix my mind to go to keep that direction.
And then you're in the workout.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin was saying he and Rochelle are constantly holding tight to God's peace in this season after her sister passed. And so, yeah, that's super hard. Like grief grief is a hard workout. Like that's a hard workout
It is.
to keep pushing through, especially because there's so many like things that come up and bubble up like in us and that we go through with grief that we don't even understand ourselves. And so of course, as loved ones and a spouse, we don't always know how to be there for each other because we don't understand either. Grief is just such a weird, mystical thing. Yeah, grief sucks.
It does.
Yeah, it does. And it's super hard to comfort and support one another through it.
But we also have to understand when it comes down to grief is the fact that, first of all, in relationships, especially whether it's, romantic relationships or just friendships, is that people grieve differently.
They do.
And if you don't recognize that, you can be hindering somebody's grieving process.
Yeah.
Is just to have grace with people during that time. Now, I will say this also, and please do not get mad at me. Do not throw a shoe at the screen or throw your computer or your phone.
A shoe at the screen.
A shoe at your screen.
Hi, Kim.
So I'm going to tell you guys this. Listen very careful. There comes a time that you got to get up out of your bed and you're done with grieving. You have to.
Like there's a breakup period.
There's a time that you do grieve. Some people, it might take a few days. Some people, it might take a couple of years.
Yeah.
But there has to be a process in the grieving. So in that whole point, and listen as I'm saying this to you, you grieve, but there has to be an end process to stop grieving.
There's a time for mourning.
There is a time, and that's exactly where it comes from. There's a time for that.
Yeah.
And for some people, it could be a month. Some people could be 2 years, and for afterwards. But there is a process, and there's a book that's out. I forgot who said it, but there's 5 stages of grieving, and it talks about that. But but some people are still in their grieving process after their parents are gone, or after their child is gone, and everything else. And you're like, well, how can you forgive? I'll always grieve. No, you can be done grieving, but the memory of your loved one will still be with you. That's part of the grieving process.
Yeah, and Ariel made a great point about grief is also a part of healing. Like grief is definitely necessary because it's a part of that healing process. Almost like how our tears are supposed to flow. We're supposed to allow our tears to come. And that's something that I definitely learned with the loss of my mom, because just my default protective nature, just I don't know why I'm like that, but just kind of how I'm wired, was very protective or limited on how I grieve in front of other people. Maybe that was pride, but like tears are necessary. It's a necessary part of the healing process. But there is a time we'd be like, okay, now we're going to pack away grief. And now this is the time to step into thankfulness and gratefulness, because in the grieving, sometimes we negate the celebration of who that person was to us, what attributes and contributions that they've invested into our lives, and the lasting effects that they've had on us and our children and things like that. And so to remain and to refuse to step out of the grieving process and into the celebration and the gratefulness and the thankfulness, we're negating honoring them the way that we should be honoring their lives.
Yeah, let me share this with a couple of good comments here. Mikey Dunham said, he says, grieving is a choice at some point in time in your life.
I also think, and Carmel, what did Carmel say?
That was grieving is a choice at some point in your life.
Okay, where's Mikey? I think Mikey said the same thing, huh?
Mikey said chronic grief is a thing. Some people get stuck.
They get stuck. And yeah, definitely. So at that point, yeah, you guys are actually right. Some people grieve, and it's funny that we're saying this because some people grieve jobs.
Some people grieve, jobs and relationships. Things that they thought, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's a whole
people. Let's get to the people grieving because, man, I thought I was going to be further than I am now, and you grieve.
Can we talk about that for a second?
We can. Because
I feel like we accidentally, a lot of us sometimes we accidentally create idols out of our own vision and plans of things. And a lot of them are relationships and different places in life that we have already set for ourselves. But we have to realize that our vision and our dream and our plan should not supersede the plans that the Lord has, because Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I know the plans that I have for you. And
Mhm.
they should not and shouldn't be superseding God. Our plans should not be superseding God's plans. So a
Mhm.
lot of times we accidentally erect these idols out of relationships. People like, yes, you fit my vision, you fit, the marriage that I want, the life that I want, you fit. So we're about to do this, and we create this idol and we worship it, and we give everything that we have, all the strength, all the power, all the resources we have to that idol that we worship, which is that life or that relationship that
Mm.
we feel like we're
Mm.
supposed to have.
Mm.
And when things come crashing down, we're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna also. I was listening to Timothy Tito. It's funny that you're saying this because you're saying I thought I would be further along during this, and my wife just mentioned that Jeremiah, and when she said, "I know the plans that I have for you, thus saith the Lord," and I'm saying this to Timothy is the fact that you had your plans to be further along, and I understand that, but do you realize? And I'm just encouraging you, man, in this is that you showing in your progress to people online, you're even though you're suffering,
Yeah, you show your workouts
you're bringing healing and hope
to other people
to other
with
people
whatever their struggle is,
with their struggle,
even if it's different.
even if it's different,
Mhm.
even in your pain. This is where you're getting to know God more than ever.
Yes.
And that's when God said, God says, I got a plan for you, Tito. I got a plan for you. I understand your plan, but right now there was one time in your life where you said, God, I want my life to give you glory. And God says, okay. And we don't know that. We didn't realize
we
that.
don't always know what the vehicle is
We
going to look like.
exactly. And it's in that because I watch you, doing your exercises and you're stretching and moving and stuff like that. It brings hope and it reminds people that I have a choice to either quit or do like I'm gonna do like Tito does, man. I'm gonna keep going. If he could do it, then I could do it. And that's a testimony that is happening in your life right now.
Yeah, and everything goes back to the workout. I'm sorry. It's like I'll get on a leg machine after John, and John's like, "Oh man, I'm so weak. I used to be so much stronger before," and la la la. And I'll get on the leg machine and try to do the little leg press or whatever that he just did, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's way too heavy." And I have to adjust the weight down for me, but it's still a workout for me, and it's still hard for me. And so
Mhm.
the thing is that it doesn't matter about the weight. We shouldn't be comparing ourselves to where we think that we ought to be. We all have our own unique custom weight that we're supposed to push. And when we do that, muscles are developed, emotional muscles are developed, stamina muscles are developed. They're still developed, but we're not moving the same weight, but we're each getting stronger when we do our own workout. And so I love the fact that when these plans that we have comes and collides with a completely different plan that God might have, that the muscle is being developed in the way that our trainer, the Holy Spirit, the Lord, sees fit for us to develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't even know how we got in this direction, but I
We were
love
going to
it.
talk about something different.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about something different, but it's fine. We can talk about that another day. But I definitely feel like marriage is a workout within itself.
It is literally a long race that you can't stop. You can't quit. Sometimes you
No.
slow down. Sometimes you walk.
Mhm.
Sometimes you jog, and sometimes you run.
And the thing is that you just never know what's gonna be on the trail. Like for instance, I run today, and you were like, "Whoa, that hill took me out." And for me, I'm like, "No, it's cool because I've run this trail before, and you just move your arms like this, right?" But because we had headphones on, we weren't talking because I'm not there yet, y'all. I'm just not there. Like I can't be like, "Hey guys, we're getting ready to hit it." Like I can't. I gotta have my earphones on, and I gotta listen to my music as I do things. But had we had our earphones off, I would have been like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I've done this trail before, and this hill comes, just move your arms like this." But because there was no communication, I wasn't able to help him like that. But what I'm trying to say is that we never know what's going to happen in the trail. When John and I got married, 20 years ago, I didn't know this heart transplant, heart defect, 20, yeah, heart defect was going to happen. Kids, family issues, loss of a mom, loss of a dad, how that was going to hit us, different triggers that it was going to bring up in us and different things. I didn't know
Who knows?
all
Who
those
knew?
things were going to happen, but it's just like a workout. It's like we hit these different areas in the trail, and one thing we know for sure, we made a promise that we weren't going to give up. And so John might be having a problem on that heel. I'm not. He might be having a problem with the loss of his dad. To me, I'm like, man, your dad was amazing. Let's just think about all the good things, whatever. It's fine, move your arms. It's fine. It's like, no, I'm sad. No, this is hard. No, this is, you know what I mean? So it's like we're all in a workout, but we've committed to be together and to not give up on each other. And I think it's important to not negate what the other person's going through. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever's hard for the other person, just because it's not hard for you, we shouldn't be talking down on each other because of how we're processing, whether that's processing grief, whether that's processing, financial hardships. Maybe some of us grew up poor and we're like, I got this. I know how to make mayonnaise sandwiches, and the other person's like, this is terrible, but it's like marriage and relationship is like a workout, and we got to help one another through things. What does that scripture say about if two together and one falls, the other one is there to help pick them up? But low to the man who runs alone, and when he falls, there's no one there to pick him up.
No one to pick him up.
No one there to pick him up. So
yeah. So
my coffee
is
today.
the coffee good?
Yeah,
Is the coffee good? I made her
coffee a lot.
coffee today, y'all.
He made it, so you can't get upset about me talking too much.
I'm not. I mean, I love to hear you talk, but just definitely with this whole talk that we're talking about today is, you guys, we really, really in our marriage, we are finding out things. We're discovering. We're learning to talk more, learning to communicate more. Some of you guys here have been married way longer than we have, and there's some of you that aren't married, and whatever it may be. But there's always hope in a marriage.
Always.
There's always hope in a marriage.
When we decide not to give up.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to say in your mind, I'm not going to quit on anything. I'll do whatever it takes. But both people got to say this. We got to do whatever it takes to make this work. Which means, as the Bible tells you, got to forsake yourself. When it says, the Bible says, forsaking all others, you got to forsake yourself to stay in this race called marriage.
Wow.
And
for a lot of us, that's hard.
It is hard.
I'm an only child. It's hard for me to.
It's yes. You guys, what's even worse? I'm the youngest child.
He's the youngest. So we're both like.
So yes.
Wait, what?
Statistically,
we are not
supposed to be together.
No, we're not.
I am the youngest.
Yeah.
She's the only.
Yeah. It hasn't been easy.
It has not been easy.
It has not. But I feel like with this whole subject of not giving up, I feel like a lot of us, we deem remaining in the marriage for years is us not giving up.
That's not successful marriage.
It's not true, because sometimes we give up in our heart, but on the outside it looks like we're still there, but we're not. We're just a shell of the person that's still there. Like, giving up looks like things like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing to her about this, or I'm not going to say nothing to him about this, because every time I do, it's an argument. I'm going to let them do what they want. I'm going to let them do what they want, and I'm going to do what I want over here. And we have these parallel experiences happening.
Lives. Basically lives.
Parallel lives that are happening. And on the outside, we've been married 30-something years, going on 40 years.
And everybody's celebrating.
And everybody claps.
Oh, praise God.
Everybody celebrates that. But the truth of the matter is that what needs to be celebrated is the fact that they haven't given up in their hearts, where it's like, you're going through something right now, John. This is hard for you. That heel is hard for you. Instead of me just saving myself and just keep running.
And kept running.
Which I did. But
she did.
Instead of just saving myself and keep running, like, turn around, double back, and help you. It's like, that's what it looks like to not give up in something, where it's like, if somebody's hitting a dip or somebody's having a hard spot, like, then it's for something that we're both responding to. Not, well, I don't know what's wrong with him, or I don't know what's wrong with her. Because a lot of times we're all learning ourselves at the same time as we're getting older.
Yeah, different seasons.
Yeah, and we're both you're learning new things about yourselves as you're getting yourself comfortable in your 50s. You getting comfortable in
no,
the
no,
50s.
no. I'm
You're about mid-50s.
I'm closer to 60 than I am
Woo!
50.
My goodness gracious. Now, and I'm just now getting comfortable in my mid-40s, right?
No, you're not. You are
Where am I?
you're way past mid 40s.
Oh.
You are close
Oh.
to your 50s.
Oh. Well, I don't really keep track of age because, age is just,
It ain't nothing
Yeah.
but a number.
it's just a number. But anyway, what I'm saying is like, as we're getting older, we're starting to notice different things about ourselves. And so it's like I'm learning these new things about myself, which is starting to remind myself a lot about my mom, which is crazy. I'm like, what is this, Betty all over again? And then here he is learning or responding to new things happening in me too. And I'm like, well, it's kind of happening at the same time. But that's what it looks like when we don't give up. We grow together.
Yeah.
Even in the different phases and
Yes.
stages.
Yes.
Now that I'm in my Mama Betty stage.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to reverse. I don't know if it's going to get worse. I don't know, y'all.
The one thing I do have to say, though, is what I do see in my wife about her mom, I love so much because I loved her mom so much. But I see, like literally, it's imprinted on Kaya.
It's crazy.
And she just, and Papa be swearing, he go, ooh, she just did like a mama.
Yeah, and I'd be like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whoever goes to our church, I don't know if I should be apologizing to y'all now because, I don't know if it's going to get worse and I'm going to start getting loud and everything and yelling stuff out.
That's good, John.
But I definitely see it. But now that, honestly, going back to our first, what we were talking about with grief, now that I feel like I've broken up with the grieving process of my mom and I'm in the celebratory, thankful season for her life, where it's not now thoughts of my mom, of me acting like her, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me happy because I'm so grateful for her life. I'm so thankful for the things that she imprinted in me, the things that she taught me without using words. Like, she allowed me to demonstrate her pursuit of the Lord in such a way where, oh my gosh, it blesses me so much. And so when John's like, oh my gosh, that was so your mom, I can say, yeah, it was, huh? Like, I can celebrate that because I've broken up with grief and now I'm partnering with gratitude and thankfulness for my mom's life. And that's why there's a time to grieve, but then there's also a time to celebrate too,
That was pretty good. You should have wrote that down.
Yeah,
you should preach that.
We'll write that down. Maybe I'll preach that on Mother's Day. You guys act like you heard it for the first time when I preach it on Mother's Day, okay?
That's how we come up with sermons. You guys.
We're just talking to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys. But we thank you guys for watching us today. We had a really good conversation. We actually had something to talk about.
But I love this organic conversation.
And that's my lane. I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just want to let you guys know to be praying for us because Kai and I are going to Iowa to our friend's church at Cornerstone World Outreach in Sioux City, Iowa.
We're excited about that.
We're really excited. They asked us to come and help with their family ministry, and we're doing a couples.
It's a marriage conference.
A marriage conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kai and I are going to be doing that for them. So, keep us in prayer.
Yes. And if any of you guys want to join us on our 40-40 challenge, a mile a day for 40 days.
40.
And 40 days spent in the book of Luke. And today is Luke chapter 1, verses 1 through 25. And then just for 40 days, we're going to just be basking in the book of Luke and running our mile a day. Run or walk a mile a day. Easy peasy, right?
Lemon squeezy.
Yeah. And so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I was really excited about him coming with me for my first day because I didn't really know, if John was down for it or not. Because he didn't really say. He was just like, He was just listening like, that's the plan? So I didn't know if he was going to be like, nope. But guys, when I put my tennis shoes on this morning, he did too.
Well, I will say this. I would want to say something. I'm just going to put this out here. So there's some things sometimes because I've been an athlete, been working out, doing all kinds of stuff, and I don't listen to my wife because she don't know what she's doing. So I try to tell her, but she doesn't listen. That's
true. I've never been an athlete.
She does, but she doesn't listen to me when I tell her. But she'll go online and listen to everybody else and do all kinds of stuff, right?
Stuff is coming out, y'all.
But I'm just saying, before we finish this, I'm just going to tell you something. So there was one thing that Kaya had been really looking at, on the internet and some other stuff, and she ended up meeting this person, and then all of a sudden she comes to me telling me, "Hey, I'm on this stuff. I want you to try it."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "No, I don't." She's got all kinds. She goes online, all kinds of stuff, bunch of stuff. Anyway, she turns around and she tells me, "I want you to do this. It's about gut health." And I said, "Gut health? What?"
Now, mind you guys, 2 weeks before this, I was praying because I was like, if I suggest anything healthy to John, he's going to shut it down. Okay, this is the same guy that refuses to replace his ground beef with ground turkey.
No way.
He refuses, and
Refuses.
he basically he threatened me. He says, "Woman, if you try to switch my ground beef for turkey meat,
And I know.
we're gonna have a major problem."
I know.
Right? Because I was like, I feel like I can just fix it up.
Yeah,
He was like,
Don't
not.
do it.
He was serious.
because I can tell.
Yeah. So this is that same guy that if I try to switch him to anything healthy, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. So
So
what
I
ended,
was praying, y'all,
so what ended up happening was, the funny thing about it was, I was actually reading about gut health
on
because
his own.
on my own, because I take so much freaking medication, you guys, so much. And Ariel don't say nothing.
Ariel's already been
Ariel-
talking about
Ariel-
veggies on here.
No, but I'm just trying to tell her. But just listen, Ariel, because I need you to be quiet right now, okay? Just listen. Just listen.
See, Carmel's like, ground turkey is good, Pastor John.
No. So anyway, I was reading about gut health, everything else. Ariel, I love sugar. I am a sugar fanatic. And so I started reading the gut health stuff. And, of course, I get eczema and everything else, all kinds of stomach issues because of the medication. And then one day Kai goes, "Hey, I want you to try this." And I was like, no, very skeptical. And then she said gut health. I looked at the gut health. I said, okay. She says, "Well, I'm using it. I want you to try it."
Mhm.
Make a long story short, y'all. I started using this product and it literally changed my life. I think it's changing my life better than just changing her life.
Well, I didn't have many issues as you did.
Right. But I was just telling you. So I actually listened to my wife.
I can't believe it.
I'm literally telling everybody.
That's the power of prayer, y'all.
I'm just letting you right now in front of all of our fans and all the people that are listening.
I'm so proud of you.
My wife was right with
I'm
this
so
whole
proud
thing.
of you.
So
That's like the
Yes.
only thing related to health that he is actually green lighted, and I am so proud of him. Ariel, I still don't think that we'll be able to get him to eat more veggies, but I am so proud of him for taking his gut health seriously.
and the stuff. Well, it's what is it called? It's plant based.
It's plant based.
It's all plant based.
so it won't interfere with your anti-rejection.
So,
meds.
and that was the thing. So I was taking the medication. I mean, all the medication I was taking, it was giving me all kinds of side effects.
Yeah.
I started taking the stuff, and then all of a sudden, my side effects started going.
Mhm.
They started lowering my medication, my anti-rejection stuff.
taking stuff off,
Taking all this stuff off.
steroids.
All the steroids. What was it? The prednisone
They took
and
that off.
all this
Right.
stuff. They were bringing it down, and my body was able to absorb stuff a lot better. Even some of the vegetables that I do eat when I do eat
The
vegetables.
one
The
vegetable.
one,
he eats.
yes, and I do that, and it's made a world of difference in my life. So
Well, I'm super proud of you. I
Thanks,
want to
man.
say that in front of all our friends. I'm
Yeah.
super proud of you, babe.
Thanks.
Really proud of you. So yeah, you guys, we'll catch you guys next month. I think we're doing like at least one coffee date Monday a month because we be forgetting. Can I just be honest with you guys? The way our life be lifing, like we be forgetting. So we promised
the
like
the word was more in 24.
more.
And it also said the biggest nation in this world
Is-
that we live in is procrastination.
Yeah.
And that's some of our problems. We have been procrastinating.
Yeah.
That's why we only do it like this. So let's just be honest, because I was honest just now about her Plexus stuff. But I'm just going to tell you right now, we need to stop procrastinating.
Okay, that's fine. If you guys want to hit me up and learn about our 40/40 challenge that we're on this month, or you want to get your gut health together, inbox me. I would love to get you guys started. And whatever we were going to talk
And
about,
come and join us.
yeah, come join us for our 1 mile a day or getting healthy. And then whatever we were going to talk about
Look.
today, we'll talk about next time. All right.
No, look, I will remind you, laughing out loud.
Oh, yo, no, I know, Latanya will. She's the one reason why we switched to the at least first Monday of the month because we were failing.
We were failing.
And Latanya was like, "What is going on?" So we got our lives together thanks to Latanya. So we know we can be accountable to her.
Yep.
We love you guys. Have
Love you
a great
guys.
Monday, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.